When you connect your mind with your heart and with your hands, that's how you express yourself in your reading. You are giving yourself, giving part of your soul, part of your heart in your reading. I call it dancing on the loom. Because you're moving your whole body and the loom is your partner.
Me gusta el movimiento. Pies están moviéndose constantemente. Las temporadas, como es el primavera, el verano, el otoño y el invierno.
Francisco and Laura Bautista live in Sandy, Oregon, where they create meticulous hand-woven tapestries and rugs.
These designs, they're been in my culture for centuries. We weave them because they represent my ancestors. We sign our pieces with 4 dots. Represents the 4 generations in the family, but also represents my family here in Oregon. My wife, my daughter, and my son.
The Bautistas hand-dye most of their wool using materials like English walnut, marigold, and tansy weed. But the dye that creates the most brilliant color comes from the cochineal bug.
It's an insect who lives on a cactus, and they collect them and let them dry, and we grind them. We use this powder to make threads. It's a magic when you're working with cochineal. I really enjoyed when we put the yarn into the dye pot, and we can start seeing how the yarn is changing the colors. Every time that we are hand dyeing, you will get a unique color. And that's very important to me to create all the time. My wife and I, we were born in Oaxaca, Mexico, a small town called Teotitlán del Valle. 90% of the people of my community know how to weave. You will see a loom on each home, and when you walk on the streets, you can hear the looms working. It's a beautiful sound. I learned when I was 7, 8 years old. My dad introduced me to this beautiful world of weaving.
I started weaving when I was like 16, when I finished my middle school. I was so excited because I always watched my dad and my older sisters.
Asira. My wife and I, we moved to Oregon in 2003. We have family here. I have 2 uncles that they've been here in Oregon for 40-something years. And the people of Oregon is very, very welcoming. They really appreciate what my weaving. We sell our weavings mainly in art shows. We do shows here in Oregon and Washington. I love to take my loom.
Oh. Admiring the loom.
Oh, thank you.
And the weaving.
Thank you so much. Because that's the best way to share this weaving tradition. They're very welcome to feel it, to weave a little bit on it if they want. And now beat it. See? This is how we create this kind of
That's a lot of that.
This loom that you see here, on this loom my dad taught me how to weave my first piece. And when we immigrated from my hometown to Oregon, I brought it with me. And I named it El Aventurero because every time when we attend our show, I always take it with me. So now I'm teaching my daughter how to weave on this loom too.
It's a tradition on both sides of my family. So some families might teach it one way, other families might teach a certain design another way. So having two parents that know how to weave, I get like from both worlds. When I do become more advanced, I do want to start incorporating more things into it. I really love to paint people. So what I would love to do is start putting some of my paintings and recreating them as weavings. And that's obviously going to be a lot more complicated.
I first started to weave when I was about 7 or 6 years old. And my dad first taught me for the very first time, and I was very excited to finally learn how to do it because I was very inspired about my dad. It was kind of complicated at first because I didn't really understand it, but I wanted to keep on working harder so I could master it and do harder designs. When I finished the design, I feel proud of it, very proud, and I think, wow, this is the design that I made, that I wove. I have a show in Hood River out of 30 small pieces into one big rug. My very first gallery show.
I think I'll keep weaving until I can't do it anymore. I feel like it's an art form that shouldn't be lost. I really want to be able to keep it going through generations.
Mis padres están muy orgullosos que mis hijos pueden seguir la tradición aún estando muy lejos de donde yo nací.
Watching my two kids now weaving, I have no words to describe how happy I am, how I feel. My language, my culture, or traditions in Mexico, I'm teaching them. Everything that my grandpa taught me, I want to pass it to the next generation, the 5th generation in the family.
El diseño, colores 100% naturales.